Welcome into another episode of How To From Cure to You with me, your host, Noah. Today's going to be a little bit different. Normally we'll go over a specific product that we have in the shop or a new form of medication to give you a brief overview on, but today we're going to expand out into something a little bit different. We're going to get to know some patients around the area, some members of the industry, and to start that off, I'm going to introduce a little bit more about myself to you, because you've been seeing me here talking about a lot of these different things, but a lot of you are wondering, well, who are you and why are you talking about this? Well, I'm going to give you the background of how I became a patient first, and that's really what got me into the industry. So about 5 years ago, I was teaching kindergarten, and we had a new shipment of hippity hops in. If you don't know what those are, they're basically like Pilates balls with handles for little kids to sit on and bounce and bounce. And so they were bouncing, and one of my little kids called me over, and they said, "Hey, why don't you bounce too?" I said, "Okay, I'm a grown man, and these are made for toys, for children, but why not?" So I ended up going and I tried to bounce on it, but as I did, something in my back shifted way over to the left that it wasn't supposed to be, and it felt like somebody started to stab me over and over again in my lower back. So I was surrounded by kids, so I had to grit my teeth, and I calmly walked over as best as I could to my co-teacher, and I said, "Hey, something is really wrong in my back. I don't feel good. Do you feel comfortable taking over the class?" She said, "Fine." I said, "I'm going to hop in my car. I'm going to get home as quickly as I possibly can." I got home and I fell on my couch and I stayed there for about 4 hours. I couldn't move. I was in too much pain to get up to do anything. And my girlfriend at the time, whom I was living with, she came home from work. She saw me. She says, "What's wrong?" I say, "I can't move. I'm in too much pain." And so I tried to tell her what happened. So she, being the wonderful woman that she is, she says, "We need to get you to urgent care." So she ended up kind of slinging me over her shoulders, and we were living on the second floor at the time, and so she kind of actually carried me down the stairs, as best she could to get me to the car. We raced over to urgent care, and I remember getting there, being put in a wheelchair, and I immediately passed out. I was in too much pain to talk or do anything about it. Next thing I know, I come to, and the doctor tells me that I have a severe lower left lumbar strain in my lumbar muscle in my back. So I was prescribed Vicodin for this because I just needed time for the muscle to loosen up, and it was just a whole immense amount of pain. And, that was the standard approach to this. So I was given Vicodin, and I took that, and I couldn't stand it. I was doled out for my pain, but I was also doled out from everything else. My personality shifted, and it just wasn't comfortable for me. And this was around the time where I was living that medical marijuana had started to become more popularized, and I was just so drummed out of my personality, and being a teacher, I needed to be happy and effervescent, and I couldn't. And so with cannabis, it was kind of one of those things like, it's time to try it. It's time to do something different. I can't continue like this. And so I ended up trying medical cannabis for my back, and lo and behold, it worked. It doled out my pain. I was my naturally smiley self, and I felt something that I hadn't felt in a while. I felt myself getting back to me, and that was something that was an incredible feeling. And that feeling was so overwhelming to be able to deal with my pain but not take away from who I was, that it's actually what spurred me to be into the industry. It spurs me to want to educate people and to help change the stigma based upon this, because this is something that can benefit a lot of different people. We just need to make sure that we give everybody a chance to try it, because I know how effective it is for me, and that pushed me to be where I am today, to be here working in dispensaries, helping educate people as best as I can, because I know that this is a process. It's something that initially we turn to this because we're dealing with a lot, and other things haven't worked. And so this is something that has been most effective for me. And, being a patient first and seeing the results, and then, really that pushed me into the industry. And so that's kind of how I got here today. I worked in dispensaries before I moved out to PA, but now I'm here doing the same thing, trying to, do what I can to help educate everybody else, because I myself am a patient, and we have to remember that this is a community. We're here because we're all dealing with stuff, and to be able to have accurate information, to have people that you can talk to and understand what you're going through, is something that makes this process so much easier. So I know this was a little bit of a different how-to. It was just an introduction to me, but we're going to see a couple more of these. Don't worry, I'm still going to be doing product demonstrations of different forms of medication and products we have available in the shop right now, but we're also going to see different things. We're going to meet some patients. We're going to meet some more people in the industry. We're probably going to talk to our manager here at Lancaster, PA Cure. His name is Joe, so you'll be seeing him pretty quickly. But keep those questions coming in that you would like us to answer. You know, find us on Facebook at Cure Pennsylvania, at Twitter, and on Instagram at CurePen. You can email us at info@curepen.com. But remember, this is something that we want you to remember as a community. We're here for each other. We're all dealing with something. So that's it. Hey, you got to know me a little bit better. We got a little bit closer, and I look forward to getting to share some more stories with you from other people. If you would like to be a part of this, please let us know. The more stories that we have out there, the more comfortable everybody feels with this, and the more we move forward. So, from all of us here at Cure to you at home, you stay classy, PA.